In this lesson, we will be learning about Latin prepositions and cases. In the story that we have just finished reading, we've already encountered prepositional phrases in the sentences. Here's an example of one of those sentences. Olim in silva dea et filia ambulant. Do you remember what it says? Maybe this picture will jog your memory. The prepositional phrase in the sentence is in silva, or in the forest. The sentence says the goddess and her daughter are walking in the forest. Now look at another example from the story about Latona and Diana. Nunc in casa habitas. Can you recall what that sentence says? If not, maybe this picture will help you. The prepositional phrase is in casa, in a house. Now you live in a house. Let's look at another sentence from the story about Latona and Diana. Nunc aqua in lacuna bona est. Surely you remember aqua means water. Nunc aqua in lacuna bona est. The prepositional phrase is in lacuna, and the sentence says, now the water in the lake is good. Check out this next sentence from the story about Latona and her daughter Diana. Habitabis in lacuna, cur quod nunc rana est. Yes, you remember this at the end of the story. The prepositional phrase is in lacuna, and the sentence means you will live in the lake. Cur, why? Because now you are a frog. So let's talk about how to know what a preposition is when you are looking at a Latin vocabulary list. Here we have a vocabulary list, and a preposition is one of the little words on the vocabulary list. Like it could be et, that's a little word, or maybe it could be in, that's another little word. Maybe it could even be the word itaqua, which is another of the little words that we see on the vocabulary list. But to specifically identify the preposition, we want to look for this plus ABL, which stands for ablative, which comes after the word in. This is how I can tell that in is a preposition, because of that plus ABL. Exactly what the ABL stands for, we'll talk about in a little bit. But for now, understand that when you see it after a little word on the vocabulary list, that word is a preposition. But in addition to plus ABL, we can also look for plus ACC. Let's look at this new vocabulary list and see if you can find the prepositions that are on the list. Remember, it has to be one of the little words followed by plus ABL or plus ACC. So pause the video and see what you can find. You should be able to find 6 prepositions on the list. The first preposition on the list is odd. Do you see the plus ACC after it? The next one on the list is anta, also followed by plus ACC. And then we see cum, followed by plus ABL, inter, followed by plus ACC, post, followed by plus ACC, and finally, propter, followed by plus ACC. Let's try again. Here's a new vocabulary list that I want you to look at and find the prepositions on. Remember, you're looking for small words followed by plus ABL or by plus ACC. I know you don't know what plus ABL and plus ACC means, but that's okay. You don't have to know what those mean to be able to find the preposition on the vocabulary list. And that's all we're doing right now. We will learn what those mean and how we'll use that information when it's time to learn to read Latin sentences that have prepositional phrases in them. But for now, focus just on being able to identify the preposition on the vocab list. On this list, you should find 6 prepositions. Pause the video now and take the time to find them. Here are the 6 prepositions revealed. Cum plus ABL. Ad plus ACC. In plus ACC. In plus ABL. Day plus ABL. X plus ABL. And now the question that everyone has been wanting to have answered. What does plus ACC or plus ABL mean? Of course you don't know yet, but you're about to find out. ACC stands for accusative and ABL stands for ablative. These are known as Latin cases. A case is a grammatical term for the specific function of a noun in a sentence. For example, what we call a direct object, a Roman would call the accusative case. Latin has a total of 6 cases. Let's learn about them. This is the part of the lesson that you will need the note sheet which is attached to the lesson. On this chart, you can see on the left side are the names of the 6 Latin cases and also a definition for case, a technical name for function of a noun. We already know about 3 different functions of a noun in Latin: a subject or a predicate noun, a Roman would call the nominative; an indirect object, the Roman would call the dative; and the direct object, the Roman would call the accusative. Each case or function of a noun is associated with a specific inflection. We've already learned these inflections. A and US are the nominative or the subject. AE is the dative or the indirect object. And AM, UM, and EM is the accusative or the direct object. In this lesson, we are going to learn that the ablative and the accusative are objects of prepositions, and we are also going to learn that the inflections for the ablative are A, O, and E. There are no more new inflections to learn today, but we do want to learn that the genitive case is for showing possession or when a noun follows the word of, and the vocative case is for direct address. We will learn more about the genitive and the vocative cases in a different lesson. Today, our lesson is focusing on prepositions and the objects of the preposition, which are written in the accusative or the ablative case, meaning they will end with the inflections that represent objects of prepositions, accusative or ablative, AM, EM, UM, or A, O, and E. If you did not take the time to pause and write these notes on your own personal copy of the inflections for noun declensions chart, you want to make sure to do that now. Stop the video at this point so that you can fill in the chart with all of the information that you see on the screen. This concludes our lesson.